What is going on, Arizona sports fan family? How we doing out here today on this beautiful Thursday? Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Huge shout out to everybody that's currently in the stream right now. We're starting the stream off hot. We're starting the stream off right with 84 people in the chat right now. What's up, everyone? Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you guys don't notice, we are sponsored now from Underdog Fantasy, ladies and gentlemen. That's what the clip that you ended up seeing. So if you want to go ahead and support the channel a little bit more, if you love fantasy football or fantasy anything, we do have a special code for you right now that you're able to use at when you start it, right? When you start it, just use code AZSF, and you're basically going to get, any deposit matched your way. So if you put $10, they'll give you $10. They're going to match you up to 100. So if you go to 100, they'll match you 100. If you go 200, they'll match you 100. So definitely an opportunity for you to go ahead and take advantage of, this promo code right here, sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. But ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the show. Now, we're here all to talk about Sean Payton, right? We're all here to talk about Sean Payton, but there has been some things that ended up dropping today in the world of the NFL that affects Sean Payton. Now, this majority of the stream is going to be Sean Payton, but just bear with me here real quick. Give me about 5 minutes of your time and let me explain to you what happened in the world of the NFL pertaining to how it affects the Arizona Cardinals. Right now, when we're talking about the latest, candidates for the Arizona Cardinals, there's a lot of candidates. We're, I guess, like 5 or 6 different candidates for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly, go after, right? One of the latest ones that were big names out there was Dan Quinn and Frank Reich. Now, Frank Reich has just got swooped up, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys don't know this, there was a report that ended up coming out here from Tom Pelissero, and this is what the latest report came out and said this. The Panthers are hiring Frank Reich as their head coach, sources tell me, and Rap Sheet, which is Ian Rappaport. Reich threw the first touchdown pass in franchise history in 1995. Now he returns to Carolina as a head coach. So if anybody had any thoughts or any ideas of possibly getting a Frank Reich, no more, ladies and gentlemen. He's now been swooped up and now a member of the Carolina Panthers head coaching staff. So good for him, right? That was a person that I also had, in my mind in terms of like my top 5. He was definitely up there, right? He was definitely up there in terms of a very viable candidate, at least for me as an Arizona Cardinal fan. But now he is going to Carolina, so good for him. Now, one other thing that I want to talk about here is Dan Quinn, ladies and gentlemen. This one came as a complete shock because Dan Quinn was a favorite to land a head coaching job either with the Broncos or the Arizona Cardinals, but this bombshell ended up coming out here from Tom Pelissero as well, and it says this, or I guess it's not the report, this is my tweet, but Tom Pelissero did report it. I said this, whoa, Dan Quinn has informed teams that he is staying with the Cowboys. Per Tom Pelissero, the Sean Payton dream is getting closer and closer, ladies and gentlemen. So A lot, right? A lot to kind of dive right into here for this whole situation. Now, Frank Reich no longer available, right? No longer available. Also, Dan Quinn going back to the Dallas Cowboys. Good for him, right? Good for them. Let them do their own thing. The prize that we're all looking out for as of right now is being that Sean Payton did go into the building today to have his interview with the Arizona Cardinals. Yes, you heard it here. Yes, you heard it. The Arizona Cardinals hosted Sean Payton today for his interview. Now, it seemed like it actually worked out very well for Sean Payton and Michael Bidwell. Now, if you're really going to look at it here, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we had some news reporters out there saying that the interview started at 9 a.m. and didn't end until 4 p.m. Like, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Now, take a look here at this screenshot. There was a video that it was actually captured with Sean Payton and Michael Bidwell. Now, please, I apologize. The screenshot was very, very blurry when I screenshotted it, but that's Michael Bidwell and that's Sean Payton right there, or possible future head coach. This interview went on for hours from 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m. AZ time. So it's obvious that they liked each other's company, right? It's obvious that they liked each other's company. So it's huge. It's huge. Now, there was another report that ended up coming out from, oh my goodness, Kyle Odegaard saying that they were having lunch sometime between 11 and 12. But like, if you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, the Arizona Cardinals and Sean Payton have serious interest with each other. They have serious interest with each other. There's no denying that they want to be in business with each other. Now, within this video in this screenshot that I captured here, in this video, Sean Payton and Michael Bidwell get in the same car. Yes. Now, I don't know where Michael Bidwell's taking him. Maybe taking him to his private jet. Maybe taking him to Sky Harbor. I don't know. I don't know where he's taking him, right? But they do go in the same car, or at least it appears that they go in the same car. Maybe I didn't see a good video, but it looked like they were going into the same car, which was Michael Bidwell's car. So absolutely huge news coming in the world here of the Arizona Cardinals pertaining to Sean Payton. Now people want to start being a believer, right? Now, this community here on YouTube, at least 50 to 60% of us, we all were leaning and hoping and praying for the thought of Sean Payton to still land here as an Arizona Cardinal head coach, right? Like, there's still a few of us out there that were still leaning hope. Now, is this a for sure thing? No, it's not, right? It's not a for sure thing that Michael Bidwell and Sean Payton are going to be in cahoots with each other, right? Like, he's going to hire him on the spot, right? There's no for sure thing. There isn't. But it's looking very, very good. This interview was 6 to 7 plus hours, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be kidding. You're not going to spend that much time with somebody that you don't like. You're not going to spend that much time with people that you don't like. It's the truth. So really good news for Arizona Cardinal fans. Like, I'm very excited. Now I've been excited to begin with because I never lost the dream. I never lost the hope when people were saying, "Oh, that's fool's gold. Oh, Mike. Oh, you got to stop talking. Oh, Mike, blah, blah, blah. It's not going to happen. Brian Flores, blah, blah, blah. I was the guy in the front lines. Now, no, I don't have a sign that I ended up holding up, but I was the guy in the front line saying, hey, Sean Payton is still a real possibility. I get the report came out and said the Saints want 2 first-round picks. I get it, right? I understand that. I get it. But right now, the market for Sean Payton is looking as bad. It is looking as bad as it is, right? The market looks bad for the Arizona looking for Sean Payton. So I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. Let me get to this contribution here real quick. He says, Bidwell really said F an interview. I'm going to take this guy on a date. Facts, bro. Absolute facts, dude. This is 100%. Dude, seriously. This was an 7 to 8 hour interview. You're right, though. A date is best what it's called. They're probably going out for dinner, right? We don't 100% know, right? We're not out there, following Michael Bidwell's car. But, this is a real possibility here for Arizona Cardinal fans. Now, can we be disappointed, right? Yes, we still can be disappointed, right? Can the Saints still be very, very stingy? Yes, they can. But right now, it looks like and what it kind of appears from the outside looking in, that this could be a real chance for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly, and hear me well here, ladies and gentlemen, possibly land Sean Payton as the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed is all I'm going to say here, right? It's all I'm going to say. So Frank Reich is done, right? Frank Reich is no longer a option. Dan Quinn is no longer an option. Now, I know I'm seeing people in the chat saying Brian Flores. Okay, well, cool. Yeah, lean on to the hope. That's fine, right? If people still want Brian Flores because he's cheaper, that's fine. To me, if there was a way to get a Sean Payton without giving our third overall pick, I'm interested, right? I'm interested. Now, I have been on a stream saying the fact that I'm willing to give up the second round pick this year. I am. If that's what they want, that second round pick, if that's what they want, I'm willing to give it up. I'm willing to give it up. Now, if they want more, if they want to get more, that's what we can give right now, right? Because that right there is as good as a second round pick, at least in my mind. Now, if they're like, oh, I want more, maybe we could start going into the 2024 draft. Maybe we could throw a fourth rounder, maybe a fifth rounder, maybe a sixth rounder, something like that. Now, obviously, I'm going to leave the negotiations to Monty Osen for Michael Bidwell and the Saints. But as of right now, what I want from Michael Bidwell is to look at the Saints and do this. This is what I want Michael Bidwell to do to the Saints right now. Call him up and say, do you feel like you're in charge? Because right now, ladies and gentlemen, right now, there's nobody that wants Sean Payton as much as we thought he was going to be valued, right? We thought he was going to go out there for a good amount of, we thought it was going to be a battle. Let's just put it that way. As Cardinal fans and as how the media portrayed it, right? They said that this was going to be an all-out brawl. Sean Payton was going to pick his destination, and then everybody was going to go ahead and get picked up little by little. Now, is there still hope for the Broncos to possibly go out there and get him? Yeah, of course, there is, right? There is still hope for the Broncos to go out there and get him. There is. Now, the Texans, I've never been worried about. The Panthers, I was worried until obviously the breaking news that dropped. And now that they got Frank Reich, not worried about it anymore, right? But there was a report that ended up coming out and saying that there was some sort of like power struggle. Like that's the reason why like Sean Payton came out and didn't want to do a second interview with the Broncos. But I have a screenshot for you guys to look at as well, ladies and gentlemen. Check out this screenshot. Our future head coach right here ended up coming out and actually responded to this guy, Mark Mask. I don't know who he is, but the original report said this: the Panthers are no longer an option for Sean Payton, right? We know that. And there was an issue with Payton's interview with the Broncos. Payton likes the idea of coaching Russell Wilson and having that defense, but fears a potential power struggle with the member of their ownership group, sources say. And of course, Sean Payton comes out of nowhere, drops some jewels, drops some bombs, and he says this: zero truth to this. We had a great visit, and the Broncos ownership was fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, our future head coach, our future head coach right there, ladies and gentlemen. So it's looking good. It's looking pretty good. Now, like I said a little earlier, right? Like it's not 100%, but look at these two men. Michael Bidwell looks as blurry as he possibly can, but this man looks happy. Sean Payton, I could see a tiny little smile right there. I think this can be a real possibility for the Arizona Cardinals. We just need Michael Bidwell to go absolute Bane mode and go to the Saints and say, this is what we can give you, right? Do you feel like you're in charge? Like, this is what we need. This is what we need Michael Bidwell and Monty Osen for to do to the Saints right now, because as of right now, the Saints, per the last report, is saying that they're requesting 2 first-round picks. Like, okay, I mean, if that's still what you're holding on to, you're probably not going to get that. You're probably not going to get that. So just FYI, right? Just FYI, if you want to lean onto the hope that you're going to get that, you might find Sean Payton in his way back into Fox because of the stinginess of what you're going to be putting yourself into. Now, like I said, as a fan, maybe everybody in the chat doesn't agree with me, but I think a second round pick is very, very valuable in this year. I believe it's sitting at the 35th overall in the NFL draft. If you want that, hey, maybe we can humor something like that. If you're looking into another pick, we can look into the 2024 NFL draft and we can figure out what we can do from there. But Sean Payton is a coach. Sean Payton isn't a player. So this is what we're willing to give, right? And I truly think that Michael Bidwell and Monty Osenfort has interest. Sean Payton looks like it has interest. The last thing that we're waiting for right now is the fact that what does the Saints want, right? Right now, we're waiting for the Saints. Now, I'm only assuming the conversation needs to be done with the Saints first before Michael Bidwell and Sean Payton come to a kumbaya moment, sign on dot, right? I'm only assuming, right? They got to reach out to the Saints and say, hey, this is what we're going to give you. And if the Saints are cool to do it, then hey, let's rock and roll. But as of right now, it's looking pretty good, y'all. It's looking pretty good here for the Arizona Cardinals fandom, at least the way that I perceived it here on my end. Now, I want to make sure I emphasize this a lot because, yes, I'm very excited, and you can tell by my demeanor and how I'm talking. But we need to make sure that that Saints team over there is fully aware that the Arizona Cardinals are willing to offer a certain package, and we are not giving up that third overall pick. It's not happening. It's not. So if there is a Saints fan that somehow slipped into the stream, by the way, thank you so very much for being here. But that third overall pick is not for sale. It's not. Take it to the bank. It's not. If we're looking into a second round pick in this year, then maybe we can humor something like that, right? Maybe we can go ahead and start talking because that might be the coach for the Arizona Cardinals that might be able to change the course of the future for this franchise. A coach that's going to be able to have some consistency within the Cardinals organization. So good things all around for Arizona Cardinal fans. I'm absolutely super excited about it. I truly am. So to recap here, let's talk about this. Frank Reich and Dan Quinn, no longer an option. Frank Reich is going to the Panthers. We got Dan Quinn going back to the Cowboys. He's not getting a head coaching job. He said deuces. I'm not going to worry about this. Sean Payton was on a 7+ hour interview today with the Arizona Cardinals, and things look to be very, very good, or at least in the eyes of the Arizona Cardinal fans. And the big question out there is, what do we think is going to happen, right? Like, when are we going to get a notification pertaining to, like, is he going to be the next head coach, right? I honestly think we're probably going to know by tomorrow. I think we're going to know by tomorrow. I think this interview really held the Arizona Cardinals back a lot. I think this interview right here held the Arizona Cardinals back a lot. And why I'm saying that is because I think it was very important for the Arizona Cardinals to bring in Sean Payton because he was the biggest hot commodity out there, right? It was written in the stars, like I said in multiple videos, right? So this is what the Arizona Cardinals were waiting for. An interview with Sean Payton. It just got completed. Now, this was the report that I ended up, I quoted from Kyle Odegaard, and this is exactly what it says. So from Kyle Odegaard, he says, Sean Payton has been on site interviewing with the Cardinals for much of the day, per source. He's currently eating lunch with the owners, Michael Bidwell and Monty Osenfort. Now, this right here, this report was given to us around maybe 11 a.m. or maybe 11:30 a.m. Or 12. Let's just put it between 11 a.m. to like 12. So they're eating lunch. So, y'all, this lunch lasted a bit. It lasted a bit. Let's get to this contribution from Seth. What's up, brother? He says, hey, Mike, so next Friday will be... Oh, cool. Awesome. Well, happy early birthday. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday. Let's take a look here. I don't think... Let me go ahead and just do a real quick refresh here on my screen. I just want to make sure I'm not missing out on any breaking news, anything like that. And I'm not seeing here anything on my end. So appreciate you, Seth, for being here. Happy early birthday. Now, do I think that this is going to be a situation where the Arizona Cardinals would have to jump on an opportunity? Yeah, right? And that's the reason why I put the timeline to Friday. Because if you think about it, two of our candidates that we wanted, Dan Quinn, which was the only guy that got a second interview, and Frank Reich, which is one of the first guys that got an interview, they're both not available. So who does that leave now for the Arizona Cardinals, right? Who does that leave now for the Arizona Cardinals? Now, real possibilities, right? I'm not going to put like Aaron Glenn in here. I'm not going to put him in there. Like, no disrespect to him, but Brian Flores seems to be, a real possibility. Sean Payton seems to be a real possibility. But other than that, I guess we can throw Vance Joseph in there, right? I guess we can. But like, if you truly think about it, I think it's going to be either these two. But like, Brian Flores didn't have interviews anywhere else. Anywhere else. Brian Flores didn't have an interview anywhere else but the Arizona Cardinals for the head coach position. Now, I think he interviewed other positions and other teams, but in terms of like a head coach position, there was no other candidate or there was no other teams out there that reached out to Brian Flores. So that leaves me a little worrisome, right? That leaves me a little like, I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that, right? I'm still kind of on the fence with Brian Flores, but like, it seems to be, to at least to me, kind of written in the stars for Arizona Cardinal fans that this might be a real possibility that we can maybe tomorrow hear how the interview went, maybe from Ian Rappaport, maybe a Tom Pelissero, Mike Garafolo, Adam Schefter, something like that. Because I promise you, we're probably going to be hearing pretty soon an update in how that interview went. Although we can see with our eyes that it obviously looked very well, right? They were with each other for a very long time. What's up, brother? He says, how bummed will we be if we get Flores? Honestly, to be honest with you, yeah, I guess bummed will be, right? I guess that will be a realization that if we do get Flores, it would be a bumming mood. But I'm going to support regardless. I get it. Right now, our fate is in the Saints' hands, right? But like, it also kind of is a two-way street. If the Saints don't want to deal, if the Saints don't want to be stingy, or they don't want to, if they don't want to be stingy, we can make a deal, right? If they're going to hold on to their guns, then they're just going to keep losing value on Sean Payton. How is that going to make their current coach feel like, right? We got another head coach under contract right now. So, it's just a lot. I think this is the time that anybody would say that Sean Payton might have his highest value. Now, keep in mind that, yes, at one point we thought that there was going to be multiple teams bidding for Sean Payton. It's not, right? It's the realization that Sean Payton doesn't have as much market as we all thought he was going to have, right? Because it was written, right? Ian Rappaport, everybody came out and said, oh my God, watch out. And as a fan, I thought that same thing as well. I heard the Denver Broncos were going to meet with them, and I'm like, oh my God, it's over. But no, it's not like that. But I think if we bring in a Sean Payton, it's going to change everything. It's going to change everything for this Arizona Cardinal fan base. Everybody in the NFC West is going to be shaking in their boots. Let me just say that right now. Everybody in the NFC West is going to be shaking in their boots when Sean Payton comes and be the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. Let me get to this contribution. What's up? Is it Deuce? What's up, brother? He says, new management, new head coach, new uniforms, new attitude. Do you remember the look on Michael B's face at the first presser when we asked him about a head coach? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. Dude, I've heard so much flack about Michael Bidwell before, because obviously we didn't think that Cliff Kingsbury was going to get fired after he got extended. Now, I was hopeful, right, that he was going to get fired. We heard a lot of rumors, and it seemed like it was written in the stars. Now, the moment I see Michael Bidwell make a move like this is one of the very first times that we've seen Michael Bidwell make a move without having Steve Keim chirping in his ear. Without having Steve Keim chirping in his ear. This is the very, very first time right here. So honestly, I'm so far very impressed. I'm so far very, very, very impressed with how Michael Bidwell is managing this situation. And it's not pretty, right? It's not something where it's like, easy, right? It wouldn't be the Cardiac Cards. It wouldn't be the Cardinals if we made it that easy. We were the last one to interview him, but so far, per this screenshot and per this video and per all the reports that came out there, man, Michael Bidwell looks like a very happy man. Sean Payton came in a suit. Sean Payton is coming out of this interview with his uniform, kind of in his hand, or his blazer in his hand, or his top suit, whatever you want to call it, in his hand. I think this went really well. I truly do think this went really, really well for the Arizona Cardinals. I truly do. Now, 20 to 25 million, right? A lot of Cardinal fans are like, 20 to 25 million, I'm not willing to pay that for Sean Payton. Well, here's the thing, fans. You guys don't have to pay Sean Payton $20 to $25 million a year. That's Michael B. Michael B is going to be the one having to do that. Now, is he going to get the 25? I don't know, right? I would hope that he would be like, okay, let's do 20, right? Maybe 21. Maybe we could settle something like that, right? But let's be honest. For the most part, we don't really know as fans contracts like that, unless they're like huge contracts, like a John Gruden type of contract, that then we would know stuff like that. But for the most part, it's a lot of mystery when it comes down to contract extensions, because we didn't know what Cliff Kingsbury got, right? We didn't even know what Steve Keim got. It's only the players that we kind of get their information out there. So if he does get hired, just put your head on the pillow, right? Just put your nice head on the pillow. It's gonna be fine. I know $25 million is a lot. I get it, but we're not paying it as fans. So let Michael B do his thing, and we'll kind of see how this all shakes out. But I think this is important, right? Do you feel in charge, Saints? Do you feel in charge? That would be one of the first phone calls I do right now. That would be one of the very first phone calls I do, is going to be the Saints. And who knows? They might have already called the Saints. They were with each other for 8 hours, maybe a little less than 8 hours, ladies and gentlemen, from 9 to 4. They were with each other. Or I'm sorry, that's 7 hours. They were with each other from like 9 to 4-ish AZ time. They had to. They had to like each other. They had to. What's up, brother? He says, give him 21 million to start with some raises. Yeah, maybe some incentives for sure. I mean, yeah, I agree. But keep in mind that like kind of bickering over millions dollars to a billionaire, that's tens of thousands to regular people, right? And although tens of thousands is a lot of money, or maybe let's maybe go thousands, right? So it might be thousands for a billionaire, right? So it's still a lot. It's still a lot. But I mean, I think if Michael Bidwill truly does want to change the culture, really want to make a big splash move, really put Monty Osenfort in the best position to be successful, right? That big, huge move. This is something that he can do, right? This is something that he can do. Yeah. Yeah, he was in the building. Sean Payton was in the building from 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m. ish. Now that I'm doing my math, it's about 7 hours, right? Like now that I'm doing my math, it's 7 hours. So like 9 to 12, so 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So it's about 7 hours, but that's still a long time. It's not an interview that I was literally like 20 minutes, right? It wasn't like a 20-minute interview and then they said deuces. No, they ate with each other. And then after that, there was a screenshot with Michael Bidwill, right? It was a screenshot with Michael Bidwill and him walking out. And it looked like they go into the same car. Are they going for dinner? Is he dropping them off? Is he flying them out in his private jet? We don't know, right? It's the life of a billionaire right now. It's the life of a billionaire for Michael Bidwill, and he's going to be the one to make this decision. And honestly, I'm right there with him. I'm right there with you. I'm backing him as much as I possibly can back Michael Bidwill, because I truly do think that he has done wonders this offseason so far. Now, yes, he just got Monty Osenfort. Yes, maybe I'm getting a little too excited for the new era when I probably shouldn't. But hey, we got the 3rd overall pick, possibly some new uniforms, right? We can get Jalen Carter, Will Anderson, right? Good things are coming for the Arizona Cardinals, right? I mean, now there is a cloud hanging over our heads, and that's Kyler Murray, because we don't know when he's coming back. Like, that is the cloud. Kyler Murray isn't the cloud, but his injury is the cloud. So, I mean, yes, that sucks, but we'll figure it out, right? We'll figure it out. It's kind of one of those things, right? Just, you're skydiving, just jump out. You'll be fine. You'll figure it out. Just pull that parachute. Just pull that parachute. So yeah, I'm excited, y'all. A lot of updates here coming out from the Arizona Cardinals. Now, right now, we have over 250 people in the chat right now. If you guys can do me a huge solid, smack the like button on this video, and obviously subscribe as well. If this is your first time here on the Arizona Sports Fan here on YouTube, we're on the road to 12K, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do it without you guys, so definitely subscribe it up. Join the community. It's free. It's cool to talk back and forth about all the news from the Arizona Cardinals. Smack the like button and subscribe and become a part of the family, right? The family. So let's do this. Let's do this. We do have a new sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. Just FYI, we do have a brand new sponsor from the Arizona Cardinals. From the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. So we got a brand new sponsor. Let me go ahead and give them some time on here. Well, you can look up into it and see what's going on, but basically it is Underdog Fantasy. That is our new sponsor. So definitely check them out if you love all things fantasy football. Let me go ahead and play this video for you guys right here so you guys can take a look into it. We do have a sweet promo code for you, AZSF, if you do sign up, and they will match up to $100 on your first deposit. So just FYI, it is Underdog Fantasy, and let me go ahead and cue their video. Appreciate that, Underdog Fantasy. Thank you so very much. Again, like I said a little earlier, use promo code AZSF when you go ahead and use your first deposit as your promo code, and they will match you up to $100. If you want to go ahead and win some money, definitely go ahead and do it with Underdog Fantasy. So yeah, let's dive right in. Let's continue to talk about this, y'all. Honestly, we have a lot of people still in the chat. This is great news, right? I think obviously this brings a level of excitement for Arizona Cardinal fans. Now, I do see some people in the chat here still saying Brian Flores, Mike Brian Flores. Don't crash on my party right now, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be crashing on my party right now. I know a lot of people are trying to say Vance Joseph. You know, they're saying things like Vance Joseph. They're stop trying to rain on my parade right now. Great things are happening for the Arizona Cardinals, and honestly, I'm all up and board for it, right? I'm all up and board. Now let's continue to talk about Sean Payton and what we've known so far, right? So what do we know? Sean Payton has gone into an interview today with the Arizona Cardinals. And with the Arizona Cardinals, he was there from 9 a.m. to about 4 p.m. AZ time. So a very long time. They had lunch with each other, right? Per Kyle Odegaard in this tweet. They had lunch with each other, which is good because he likes food. That's really awesome. That's good to know. But not only that, sitting down with somebody is obviously something that you have to like the person, right? Because I'm not going to sit here and have lunch with somebody I don't like. Right. You know what I mean? So definitely a good step in the right direction. We had, I think it was Fox News and also 12 as well. We're on top of it. Like literally they were waiting outside the Tempe facility to make sure they figure out when Sean Payton comes and when Sean Payton leaves. So definitely shout out to the, the sports reporters for going out there and doing the long, dirty work and kind of letting us know that, hey, it looked like it worked out, right? It looked like it worked out. Let me get to John's contribution. He says, hey, ladies. Oh, my greatness gracious. Okay, let's move off of this. But any updates on Ryan? Sheesh, Ryan. Okay. Any updates on Ryan? Appreciate the contribution, John. But basically, right now, it doesn't look like there has been any reschedule for D'Amico Ryans. As of right now, there has not been any reschedules for D'Amico Ryans. So just FYI, we were supposed to meet with them over the weekend, but as of right now, it's just kind of up in the air. We don't know if he's going to reschedule with us. Right now, it doesn't look so good. It doesn't look so good at all. Yeah. So there's that, right? So we had some lunch with Sean Payton per this. So definitely very, very exciting news just overall right now. One thing that I want to talk about is compensation, right? What's compensation that you guys are willing to kind of provide, right? I want to ask the chat here. What is the chat? Right? What is the chat feeling like right now? Do you guys want a Sean Payton? Because I did make a poll question. I put a poll question on a little earlier today, and I asked you guys, I asked the chat, I said, do you guys feel like the Arizona Cardinals can possibly get Sean Payton? Right now, we have 258 votes. Right now, we have 258 votes. And right now, we have 72 saying, yes, they feel like Sean Payton can come here, be the next head coach. And then we have 28% saying it's too rich. So I appreciate you guys for voting. Thank you so very much. We ended the vote with 71% says yes, they feel like Sean Payton can come here. And then 28% says it's just way too rich for the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. So compensation, right? Let's continue to talk about compensation. Cardinal fans, or if there's even Saints fans out there, I'm curious to figure out what you guys are feeling, right? Because fans can talk, right? I can sit here until I turn blue in the face and I say, we're not giving up our third overall pick. I'm not Monty Ossenfort. I'm not Michael Bidwell, right? Like, we know that, right? We know that. I'm not either of them. I know what that value holds and what we can get with those, those those picks. So I'm not willing to do that. But a second round pick, that 35th, or I believe it's 35th overall pick, sounds very, very doable. That 35th overall pick sounds very, very doable. Let me know what you guys think in the chat. What's up, brother? He says Sean Payton is going to change and build a dynasty. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Preach, brother, preach. Yes, exactly. Exactly. This is the type of stuff that you need to be willing to do, right? Now, I don't think the Arizona Cardinals were ever put in a position like this. Ever put in a position like this, right? To possibly get a head coach like a Sean Payton, right? We were never put in a position like this. Let's be honest with ourselves. We were never. So there might be some people that are a little more hesitant, right? There might be some people that are a little bit more hesitant to the idea of, oh my God, giving up a second round pick. Mike, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. You're giving up the farm. That's not giving up the farm to me. That's not giving up the farm. That's giving a pick over to a team that has a coach under contract that wants to play in the NFL, or that wants to coach in the NFL again. That's what it is to me. I don't think we're selling the farm with giving a second round pick and maybe a mid round pick next year if they're going to be pulling our arm, right? Because that second round pick is as good as a first round pick. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. It is. Right now, yes, we've had some success with second round picks. We have, right? But we can very well, if DeAndre Hopkins does decide to leave the Arizona Cardinals, regardless if Sean Payton comes or not, right? Regardless, then we might have another second round pick there or a mid to late first round pick, right? We don't 100% know. We don't know. But I agree with you, brother. I truly do. I truly do. What's up, AZ Sports Girl? I would love it if Sean came here because I feel like his experience can help out Kyler. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But also think of it on this way, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it this way. Every single time we talk about Kyler, and I'm talking about the fan base, there's at least 25 to 30% of the fan base that is done with Kyler Murray. They're done with him, right? They're done with him. Now, if Sean Payton comes in here and makes him come back to a MVP type of level, Kyler Murray, then we all win, right? The people that were doubting Kyler Murray, they can now change their narrative, and we can also, talk kumbaya, because now the Cardinal fans are, split down the middle. Well, not maybe, it's more of like a 25% split because a lot of people want to get rid of Kyler either by trade, release, or however you want to, talk about it, which I don't get. Yes, he had a terrible, year, but I still truly think that the Arizona Cardinals are better with Kyler than without him. Unless they trade him, then hey, we'll figure it out from there, right? We'll figure it out from there. But bringing in a Sean Payton, and if he doesn't work with Sean Payton, then we know, right? Then we know. Then we can start planning what we're going to do with Kyler Murray. But right now, I'm on board. I like Kyler. He's still my quarterback, and we're going to see it through. What's up, Francisco? Thanks for the contribution. He says, I want Payton. I think a second and a third should be enough. Oh, I agree. I agree. Oh, I agree, brother. Now, hear me well here. Now I hope there is some Saints fans in the chat. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hear me on this. What if we gave you a second round pick this year and a third round pick next year? Because honestly, I was thinking more of a fourth round pick next year. I was thinking of a fourth round pick next year, truly. But if I can give you a second round pick this year and a third round pick next year, what say you, right? What say you? Because my second and third are, to me, they're valuable. I'm going to only give up one of the two. If you want a second, okay, we can give up the second. That third, I'm going to keep, right? It's still within the 100. And I think we can still get get a good prospect with that third pick. And we got 2 third-round picks. So I still think we can get some good prospects. We got 4 picks within the top 100. So if we do get rid of that second round pick, we're sitting with 4, right? We're sitting with 4 picks within the top 100. So I think it's doable for sure. I think it's doable. I do got another contribution here from Ben. What's up, brother? He says third round 2023, a first round in 2024, and a third round. Ooh, the Saints can't. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. So you're saying a third round in 2023, a first round in 2024 and then a third round in 2020. Wow. Okay. I agree. I don't think the Saints will say no to that. I truly do. I don't think the Saints will say no to that. But I want to try to avoid getting rid of a first. Personally, I want to try to avoid like that's the reason why I don't do these negotiations, right? Because I'm like, oh my god, what we can get, right? That first round pick can be valuable, right? Just really depending. I like this plan. I do like. I think it's a really good plan. Honestly, I think it's really good. But I like the idea of maybe a second and possibly a third next year. I mean, obviously, I'm going the cheaper route. You're willing to kind of do what you need to do to get Sean Payton, which I absolutely respect. I absolutely respect that. So yeah, I mean, we'll see, right? I appreciate you guys for obviously tuning in and getting involved with this whole Sean Payton thing because this is getting real. This is getting real. And obviously, I won't be wasting your time if I didn't truly feel like this could be real. Now, can I be wrong? Yeah, I mean, obviously, right? I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't want to be wrong, but I could be, right? But like this seems to be a real possibility for the Arizona Cardinals to possibly make this move. Now, the 20 to 25 million, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Put your pretty little head on a pillow. You're fine. You don't have to pay anything. Fans, you're good. You're good. Your popcorn might go up $1, right? I mean, it's already expensive as is. What's it? Just a quick credit card swipe. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so the 25 so 20 to 25 million dollars, I get it. It's a lot of money, right? It is. But if you want to bring in a head coach like that, right? If you want to get somebody who actually wins, you have to kind of do what you need to do. Now, first round this year is not happening. It's not happening. But Sean Payton, yes, he has won Super Bowl, right? And a lot of people like to kind of say, oh, well, he was a cheater. He was a cheater, Mike, and he only did it because he was with Drew Brees. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Payton has had a winning record. His record is 222, 162 to 1. He's won 222 games as an NFL head coach, lost 162, and had one game tied. Like, you kind of have to, you kind of have to go for it, right? Like, if that's truly what you want, you kind of have to go out there and go for it. At least in my mind, I think you have to truly go out there and go for it. Now, let me do a real quick refresh here in no news, no updates pertaining to how Sean Payton's news came out or the interview came out, which honestly, guys, I think not hearing anything today is better. Is better, honestly. Not hearing anything today is better. Trust me. You don't want to hear any insiders say, oh, well, it was a very good interview, right? But blah, 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 blah. No, not hearing news today is good. Trust me. Not hearing news today, ladies and gentlemen, is good. We're good. We're fine. We're okay. Tomorrow is when we freak, though. Tomorrow's when we freak because I predicted that we're going to be getting our head coach by this week. Last week, I said beginning of next week, we're going to be getting our GM. That worked out to our favor. We had a week to plan out, about a week and a half to plan out our next head coach. By this Friday, I truly think we're going to know who our next head coach is going to be. I mean, the walls are kind of closing in, right? Frank Reich is not there. We also kind of missed out on Dan Quinn. So the walls are kind of, caving in on the Arizona Cardinals, right? Right? So, whoever brings up that, that narrative about, Sean Payton being a cheater, I don't want to hear it, right? I truly don't. Sean Payton is a winning head coach. He is. He's 222, 162 losses, and one tie. Like, he's a good head coach. He's good. Y'all trust me. Y'all trust me. You guys don't have to pay the salary. Trust me when I say that. All right, I got some new contributions coming in. What's up, Caleb? He says, a friend of mine is a waiter at Steak 44. Says he's seen a car that looked like, ooh. Okay. Okay, don't get excited. Okay, I'm aware. Don't get excited. Dude, if they're at Steak 44, it's settled. You don't take anybody to Steak 44 if it's not going to be signed, sealed, and delivered. Let me just tell you that right now. You're not taking anybody to Steak 44 if it's not signed, sealed, and delivered. Let me just tell you that right now, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if this is actually like real, and I believe it's real because I don't think you would be wasting $5 to kind of lie. But if this is absolutely indeed real, whew, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm stoked. I'm excited. All right, let's keep on going with these contributions. We have JK Gamer saying, Sean Payton, the Cardinal guy, Sean. Yeah, man, it's getting real right now, dude. It's getting very, very real. And honestly, this community was probably one of the communities that stayed true to the whole Sean Payton narrative. They never let it sway themselves, right? They never let the outside noise, because I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, nobody knew. Nobody knows. Nobody knows at all. We can give you estimates, right? We can say, oh, it's going to be Brian Flores. Oh, it's going to be Frank Reich. Oh, it's going to be Dan Quinn, because we're only going based off what we see, right? Trends, what's a connection, things like that. But everybody's literally guessing and hoping and praying, a Hail Mary out there and saying, I hope this is right, because if it's not, I'm going to look dumb. You know what I mean? But I was always holding true to Sean Payton. You have about 3 or 4 different videos in the last week or two about Sean Payton, because I knew and holding on hope that this might be the year for the Arizona Cardinals. It might be. What's up, Francisco? He says, if we can trade David Johnson for D-Hop, we can get Payton. Facts, brother. Facts. Absolute facts. Now, granted, yes, it was Steve Keim that did it, but I do believe, I'm going to go ahead and lean to believe that Sean Payton, or I'm sorry, Michael Bidwell had some sort of, influence in that whole situation. What's up, Ben? $2 donation. I don't see a comment there, but I will be looking out for your name. I appreciate the contribution, my guy. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. So yeah, here we are, right? Here we are. Now, what I'm going to do, because obviously this channel belongs to everybody, right? This channel belongs to everybody. We have close to 300 people in this chat right now. Appreciate you guys for doing that. I truly, truly do. Thank you so very much for rocking with me. If this is your first time, definitely subscribe. If this is your first time here, smack the like button if you could do so. That would absolutely mean the world to me. Subscribe it up, join the community. It's free. It's just the red button. Click it, put your post notification bell on, and, join the family. Smack the like button, subscribe, do all that stuff that people, all the YouTubers tell you to do if you can, right? If you want to. If not, no worries. But yeah. A real possibility. I think what we might do is open up the phone lines. I might open up the phone lines a little later on in the stream. Just maybe, right? Maybe. Maybe if I'm feeling a little generous to kind of hear what you guys have to say out there, right? Maybe we might put some popcorn emojis in the comments below and see if we can bask in the glory of how you guys are feeling. Maybe I am getting a little too, excited, but honestly, all signs are pointing to very, very good things for the Arizona Cardinals this offseason, and I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I truly am not mad of this whole Sean Payton. Why did we wait as long as we did? If we sign him, it doesn't matter. It doesn't. If this was the Arizona Cardinals' plan to begin with, we look like geniuses. You know what I mean? Because the Panthers didn't want him. The Broncos, it's still kind of up in the air right now, right? Still kind of up in the air. In the Texans, I was never worried about the Texans. I truly wasn't. But we do have Sean Payton here, obviously, on the Twitter world. He did end up speaking. Now, Mark Mask, or Maskey, however you pronounce his last name, he originally put a tweet out and said this: the Panthers are no longer an option for Sean Payton, which we knew. And there was an issue with Payton's interview with the Broncos. Payton likes the idea of coaching Russell Wilson and having that defense, but fears a potential power struggle with a member of the ownership group, sources say. Now, Sean Payton, our future head coach, I'm going to speak that to existence, went ahead and said this: zero truth to this. We had a great interview and the Broncos ownership was fantastic. So obviously that kind of, leaves to interpretation, right? Kind of leaves up there a little bit, the door wide open to see, hey, maybe the Broncos are still a candidate, but I don't know. I feel like the Broncos might go a different route, but now that Dan Quinn isn't there, I don't know. We'll see, right? We'll see what happens. So let's continue to talk, right? Continue to talk about this. We talked about compensation, what I feel like is going to be, necessary, right? And I know that there's some Saints fans out there that actually have their own idea because they have this dream in their mind. They're like, oh, we want your 3rd overall pick. It's not happening. We talked about that. We talked about the updates from Frank Reich, which, although, yes, I am sad that we are not going to have Frank Reich here, or at least a possibility to possibly sign him. If we bring in Sean Payton, it's a mere thought, right? Dan Quinn decided to go back to the Dallas Cowboys. So this is the report for, Dan Quinn, which is actually of me, but I quoted Tom Pelissero, or at least I purred him. So I said, whoa, Dan Quinn has informed teams that he is staying with the Cowboys per Tom Pelissero. The Sean Payton dream is getting closer and closer. And this is the Frank Reich breaking news that went down earlier today. I believe it was more towards the afternoon. Tom Pelissero put this out that the Panthers are hiring Frank Reich as their next head coach. Sources tell me, and Ian Rappaport. So a lot to dive right into, right? Two potential candidates for the Arizona Cardinals that just basically slipped out of the way, which means to me, I think it's obvious, right? I think it's obvious here. What's up, Ben Evans? He says, AZ Sports Girl, 1,000% agree with you. Sean Payton would help Kyler Murray for sure. Possibly give us a Super Bowl or a way better record. Oh, yeah, 100%. Think of it. Here's the thing, too, right? A lot of people want to think of this and saying, oh, my God, well, he has to win us a Super Bowl, right? Well, it's a process, right? It's a process to win a Super Bowl. Let's look at our roster right now. Our roster doesn't look as great as we all thought it was going to be, right? Especially a lot of the positive fans that were out there. They're like, oh my God, we're going to have the best dynamic linebackers that we've seen out there, right? A lot of people, they kind of like to add fluff a lot, which to me, going into the season, I knew we had a lot of issues. I knew, and I wanted to address a lot of these issues, which we just didn't. But I agree. I think Kyler Murray will highly benefit from a coach that has done wonders in the NFL, that has actually produced in the NFL. I agree. 100%. Now, Super Bowl can be attained. We just got to follow the process. We got to allow this to go ahead and get there. But the winning record, that's right there. Nail, hammer. Nail, hammer. You're right. Because it's not just, Super Bowl, which obviously is important. And I think the expectation of the Super Bowl getting Sean Payton is a real thing, right? I think we all have that expectation if Sean Payton does come in, right? But the realistic thing here is that we can now start being an actual team within the NFL or within the NFC West, and people could fear us, right? People could now start fearing the Arizona Cardinals with Sean Payton because Sean McVay, right? Pete Carroll, Kyle Shanahan, and then we had Cliff Kingsbury, which honestly, Cliff Kingsbury was the worst out of the four, right? There was no fear with Cliff Kingsbury. Once you played him once, you played him twice, you figured him out, right? And it was very obvious that Cliff didn't really adjust a lot. But I think adding a Sean Payton definitely adds a level of excitement to the fan base for sure, right? I'm only assuming we're going to get, ticket prices and season tickets going up the wazoo. Everything's going to go really, really high. But also just competing in the NFC West in general. We don't have to worry about, we're going to be, we're going to be a terrible team this year, right? Because a coach like Sean Payton, regardless if you're in a rebuilding season, ladies and gentlemen, regardless if you're in a rebuilding season, Sean Payton is the type of coach that will still get you 6 to 7 wins, at least 6 to 7 wins on a rebuild season. I truly believe that. I truly believe that Sean Payton is the type of coach that will still give you 6 to 7 wins in a rebuilding season. Well, let's just go 5 to 6 wins in a rebuilding season, right? So these 3 wins, 4 wins type of seasons, which we're looking like laughing stocks of the NFL, which right now this draft doesn't look so bad. It's sitting that we're in the 3rd overall because we have the option to either get Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. One of them is going to fall, especially if a quarterback gets taken out of one of the two. So this is what is really worth, right? Being that we can now start fighting in the NFC West. That's what this signing is about to me. Yes, Super Bowl is also in my mind. I'm right there with you. But the NFC West is exactly what I'm looking for here. Exactly what I'm looking for. What's up, Michael? He's $2 donation. I don't see a comment there, but I will be looking out for your comment. Hopefully, there's a lot of comments coming through in the chat, so I'll do my best, Michael. I appreciate the contribution. Yeah. Here we go. I think we might have a. Oh, okay. I see you there. So this is gonna be your super chat, Sean or Flores. It's to me right now. It's Sean or Sean. I don't think Flores is even in the conversation right now. If we fall back to Flores, it's going to seem like a letdown. No, I'm going to support Flores, right? I'm going to do my best to support him. But right now it's Sean or Sean. I don't think Flores should even be in the conversation. We do have a Saints fan in the chat. He says Sean wins 7 games with the backup quarterback. Bruh, you hear that? Sean can win 7 games with the backup quarterback. Oh, I love it. I love it. And that's what I'm talking about. That's expectation. The Saints organization, their fan base has expectation, or they had expectation with Sean Payton there. They did. They truly did. He's a winning head coach, y'all. Get this whole narrative out of your mind. Oh, he only won because of the scam. Oh, he only had Drew Brees. He's a winning head coach. He knows what to do. He can adjust. Trust the process. What's up, Alex? He says, off topic, but my mom is rooting for the Niners this weekend just because of Purdy. Might have to fire her and get a new mom. That's funny. That's funny. Well, we have some very good games this coming weekend, which I'm really excited about, right? Really exciting news coming in the world of the NFL, because these playoffs are going to look good. Patrick Mahomes versus Joe Burrow, right? That's exciting. Purdy versus Jalen Hurts. So we got some good matchups this coming Sunday, which I'm really excited about. So yeah, we'll go from there. We'll go from there. But yes, we do have a new sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. Just FYI, Underdog Fantasy. If you go ahead and sign up with them using my promo code AZSF, if you love everything fantasy football or fantasy anything, right? Hockey, basketball, anything like that. If you go ahead and get Underdog Fantasy, use my promo code, and they will match up to $100 for any of your first deposits. Just FYI, if you put in $10, they'll give you $10. If you put $100, they'll give you $100. If you put $200, they'll give you $100. If you put 50, they'll give you 50. So just keep in mind, it's up to $100. Definitely, obviously, go ahead and go there. You got to be over the legal age to gamble, though. Of course, just please keep that in mind. So, all right, let's continue. A lot of excitement, right? A lot of excitement. Let's see here. Not giving our, I don't think anybody's giving the first round this year. Now, Saints want our first rounder, right? I think it's obvious that they want our first rounder. We're not going to give our first rounder. It's not going to happen. Saints fans, it's not going to happen. Just it's over, right? Saints fans out there, it's not going to happen. Second rounder is as good as a first rounder this year. We're in an unfortunate but fortunate situation right now. Because we do have a 35th overall pick that we can use for capital if we need to get a Sean Payton. That's as good as a first, at least in my mind. So, let's continue with the chat here. Oh, we got another Saints fan up in here. Yeah, I agree. Sean Payton is a winner. Yeah, I agree. I think Sean Payton is a winner. I 100% agree with you there. I think that a lot of people kind of get swayed to the idea of, oh my God, all these scandals that ended up happening, right? With, or I guess not scandals, but scandal that happened with Sean Payton. It kind of, put a black mark on his name. But this interview, I think, went as well as it possibly could for Arizona Cardinal fans. Like, truly. Like, this interview went very, very well. Just look at Sean Payton's face, man. Look at Sean Payton's face. That's Michael Bidwell right there with the khakis, y'all. Like, Michael Bidwell, I think, truly loved the presence of Sean Payton. I think they truly, truly did like each other's company. Now, does that mean we're going to go all in, right? I mean, we'll see, right? TBD. I think tomorrow we will know, though. I think tomorrow we will know if the Cardinals go this route. Because if we go this route, 2023 is looking a lot more exciting. A lot more exciting. Now, I'm not going to go out there and say Super Bowl. I'm not going to go out there and say that, because we know what we have at stake, right? We know that Kyler is not going to be back until October. We know that DeAndre Hopkins might want to leave, right? And Monty Olsenfort needs to go out there and really kind of talk to D-Hop and see where we go from there, right? So it's a lot. It's a lot. I truly think that we will know by tomorrow. I think we will know by tomorrow. I'm going to do a real quick refresh here in the Twitter world just to make sure I haven't missed anything here on my end, anything from any of the big insiders out there, and I'm not seeing anything as of yet. So to me, that's great news. To me, that is fan-freaking-tastic news that we're not hearing anything from the insiders. And you know why? Because when they're reaching out to Michael Bidwell, oh, how did the interview go? It's okay. You'll find out. Don't worry about it. Or they already know, and they're like, hey, don't say anything till tomorrow. Maybe that. So honestly, not hearing anything today in terms of how the interview went, I'm gonna trust with what we know already. This interview was 7+ hours. That's what we know. That's what we know. I'm gonna trust with what we know right now. This interview was 7+ hours. So I'm excited. I'm excited. What's up, Caleb? Appreciate the contribution. He says Osenfort, but we have Flores, Joseph, Glenn. Okay. Oh, I get you. Osenfort says this, but we have Flores, Joseph, Glenn, and then Bidwell says, hold my beer. Fly Sean Payton in for an all-day interview. Facts. Well, honestly, one of the first super chats that we had earlier today said this was a date, right? This wasn't an interview. This was a date. So honestly, that's what it kind of feels like, right? Like, Michael Bidwell really truly felt enough to, spend all day with them. Like, let's be honest, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. AZ time is a long time. I'm not going to be sitting with anybody that I don't like, right, for that long, right? I'm not going to be sitting and eating lunch with somebody that I don't like. They enjoyed each other's company. They enjoyed each other's companies today, so that's really exciting. What's up, Adrian? He says, grab the Saints by the B and let them know they can walk empty-handed. Don't lowball them too low, though. No, I agree. And that's exactly why I made this thing here, right? I made this. And if you guys haven't seen the Dark Knight series, right? If you guys haven't seen it, you probably won't get it. But this is Bane, right? This is Bane. And he says, do you feel in charge? That's exactly why I made this. Do you feel in charge, Saints? Because we know, right? We know what you want. We're fully aware. And so does everybody in the NFL. We're fully aware of what you want. But this is what we can offer you. This is what we can offer you. If you're willing to take it, which, like I said, and like you said in your super chat, definitely obviously don't lowball them to the fact where they're just like, oh no, we're not going to get a 5th round pick from. Obviously we're going to be fair, right? But the 3rd overall pick is something we're not going to do. The 2nd round pick this year, which I've been talking about for the last week and a half, that maybe that 2nd round pick for the Arizona Cardinals can be used as an asset to get, Sean Payton. And if they want another one, maybe we can sneak into the 2024 draft, right? If we want to maybe do another 2nd, another 3rd, a 4th. I know somebody said a 1st, but hey, that's up to Monty Osenfort and Michael Bidwell to make that plan. But this 2nd round pick or that we have this year, it's as good as a 1st rounder. It's as good as a 1st rounder. So yeah, I agree. I agree. 110%. Michael Bidwell needs to call the Saints and say this. Do you feel in charge? I paid you a heavy amount. You got to do what I say. You got to do what I say. Michael Bidwell, a.k.a. Bane, comes up to the Saints and says, do you feel in charge? Ladies and gentlemen. That's exactly what I want to see from Michael Bidwell. And so far, I've loved what he's done. Now, Monty Osenfort, I think we're going to see a little bit more what he's going to do, right? I think we're going to see a little bit more what he's going to do. Because right now, Loomis, right? I think that's their GM's name, Loomis. We know what you want, but this is what we can do for you. This is what we can do for you. This is what we can do for you. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So a lot of news. I'm hoping everybody's excited. I'm hoping everybody's excited because I think tomorrow we'll know, right? It's either going to be Brian Flores, it might be Sean Payton, it might be Vance Joseph for Pete's sake, which obviously nobody wants. Nobody wants Sean Payton. I mean, I'm sorry. Wow, nobody wants Vance Joseph. I'm so sorry. Everybody wants Sean Payton, right? Nobody wants Vance Joseph. Now that is also going to be another big question, right? What's going to happen to Vance Joseph? I'm assuming Michael Bidwell in the interview process said, hey, do you want to keep Vance Joseph? Because we got him under contract for a year or two, right? We got him on an extension. Do you want to keep Vance Joseph? Do you not want to keep him, right? So that's another big question too. If Sean Payton does get hired on as if Sean Payton does get hired on as the head coach, what's going to happen with Vance? If he's cool with Vance, then I think Vance can stay. If he's not cool with Vance, then I don't think he stays, right? And I know Vic Fangio was a guy that was mentioned a lot in terms of the DC that he wanted, but I think there was a rumor out there that I saw that Vic Fangio might go to the Panthers. I don't know where I saw it. It might have been on a YouTuber. It might have been on a YouTuber that I watched from the Panthers, and they might have said that I think Vic Fangio might be going to the Panthers. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Ben? He says, you doing the phone? Yes, I am going to be doing the phone lines. Yes, I will be. Yes. Oh, snap. We've hit the hour mark. Wow. We've hit the hour mark, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. Now, right now, we have over 271 people in here right now. And you know what that means. It's going to get as busy as it comes, right? It's going to get busy. So I can only allow a certain amount of people in the back. Right? So right now we're going to open up the phone lines. If you guys can do me a huge favor, put the popcorn emojis in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen, because as you know, and as I know, when the phone lines get opened up, it is pandemonium. It is crazy takes, sometimes very good takes, but a lot of, takes that are like, what the heck is going on? So we're going to open up the phone lines. And if this is your first time here, it's very simple. Usually how we do it is we put a link in the chat. That's it. You click on the link, you bring it on. We do favor people that have videos on. And the biggest reason why is to that is because we don't want trolls in here. We don't want people in here that are just going to cuss and, just leave. Please don't do that, because then you'll be booted. And, obviously, privileges get taken away and stuff like that. So we don't want that. So the link has been pinned. Jump on in, click on the link, and turn the video on if you can. If you don't want to, no worries. If you've been here before, that's completely fine. I respect it. Come on through. Right. I know the usual people that are here on a regular, day. So the link has been pinned, ladies and gentlemen. The phone lines have completely opened up. Let's hear from you. Let's hear from the Bird Gang, and let's see what you guys have to say. You heard from me already. You've heard from me as an Arizona Cardinal fan. Now it's time to hear from the Bird Gang. Time to hear from you guys. So the link has been pinned, and it should be at the very top of the chat. So if you want to come through, click on that link and jump on in. We do got a person here coming in. We got my guy Cardinal fan. What's up, brother? Okay, let's go ahead and get him in here. Cardinal fan, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling about Sean Payton or the Arizona Cardinals in general?
I will just say this. I've been scrolling nonstop today to see if there's any news. I've been listening to 98.7 all day at work, trying to think, waiting for the breaking news to pop up.
Yeah. I agree, man. I guess the big breaking news is, how well this interview went, right? Now, we haven't heard anything, but if you're with somebody for 7 hours, you got to like them, right? Like, you have to have some sort of like for him. Now, there was a video, I'm not sure if you saw it, but like, it was Sean Payton and Michael Bidwell walking out of, their interview. And I think they go in the same car, and it looked like Michael Bidwell's car. And I'm only assuming he's either going to fly him out or he's going to go ahead and, take him to Sky Harbor. I don't know. But what are your thoughts on Sean Payton?
I've been high on it since I heard the news before he fired Cliff. I didn't think we were going to get this far. I thought LA would have fired their coach and brought Sean Payton in right away, or even Dallas. The fact that he postponed Denver's interview and wanted to interview with us.
Yep.
For me, that says a lot. Because if he didn't want to come here, he wouldn't have interviewed.
I agree.
I mean, yes, it's gonna be interesting. I think tomorrow we'll find something out, like you said.
I agree.
I don't see it going through the whole weekend, unless they're trying to figure out the draft compensation. But as long as it's not the 3rd overall pick, I'm good. That's me.
I agree. I 100% agree, brother. All right, man. Any last thoughts before I get somebody else on?
I think if we can get Sean Payton, I wonder what happens with DeAndre Hopkins. That's why I keep thinking, if we get Sean Payton, does DeAndre Hopkins say, you know what, I want to stick around here? Because that's kind of like how I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Or does Sean Payton say, hey, because I know Monty talked to Hopkins, but what if Sean comes in and says, hey, I want DeAndre on my squad?
Yeah. No, that's true. Somebody did say a 1st next year, but they also said a 3rd this year. So like, if they're willing to take the 1st next year, then I'm not giving up my 2nd this year, maybe a 3rd or a 4th or something like that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just going through a lot of numbers in my head.
I don't want to give up on either Will Anderson or the Georgia kid.
Oh, no, this year. Oh, we're not giving up this year. Oh, that's a fact. We're not giving that up at all.
No, I've talked to fans that wanted to give up the 3rd pick. I'm like, no, he's not that valuable.
No, not at all. The Saints, honestly, I think they bet on themselves, and I think that now that they're seeing that this market isn't as hot, but I think Sean Payton does want to come to the Cardinals.
If he was worth what they wanted, he would have been gone a long time ago. Denver would have gave him what they wanted.
Oh yeah.
But the fact that a lot of teams are saying, you know what, like Carolina, they're going for Frank Reich. So you're like, you know what, let's just take the cheaper offer. But if we can get Sean Payton in here, I think I'm still high on Kyler Murray. If he can come in here and work with Kyler and get this team fixed, we have a really good future ahead of us.
I agree, brother. All right, man. Thank you very much, Ben. Peace out. Later. All right, let's keep it moving here. Let's go, Ben Evans. Ben Evans, you are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How you feeling?
Dude, I'm doing good. Let's see here. He only has two years on his contract left for the Saints, man. And honestly, if the Cardinals are willing to give the draft picks, man, you know what I mean? Like, you know, what I said in the comments, or even, you know, a little cheaper than that. You know what I mean? if they keep on blowing it off, they're kind of they're screwing themselves, you know. They're not going to get anything for Sean Payton.
Yeah. You're talking about the Saints, right?
What's that?
You're talking about the Saints, right? Like they're not
Yeah.
going to get anything?
Yeah. I'm talking about the Saints.
Yep.
I mean, he only has 2 years on his contract, you know. Personally, this is probably their best opportunities to get at least just draft picks. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
a third round would be great. Even a third round of next year, you know, and then possibly a first round in 2025. You know, that's just a new one I thought of. You know what I mean?
Mm.
They're still getting a first round, but it's
Yeah.
later in the year, or it's
True.
you know what I mean.
True.
They're still getting what they're wanting, but in a different year, just not this
different year. No, absolutely. Yeah, no, I appreciate you for coming on here. What are your thoughts on Kyler? I know there's a lot of unknown. Are you pro Kyler or are you like
year. Dude,
Or how you-
every quarterback has their bad games. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's small, whatever. But we seen miracles. We
Yeah.
seen miracles. We seen what he done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when Cliff Kingsbury didn't change it up or anything like that. And I tremendously think if Sean Payton or even an offensive mind like the offensive coordinator from the Eagles, man, you know, I mean, you know, Sean Payton or him would
Yeah.
tremendously help Kyler Murray.
I agree, brother. All right, man, I'm gonna keep on moving the phone calls. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
Later, man. All right, let's keep it going here. Let's go to AZ Sports Corner. You are live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Dude, I'm excited. I'm so excited for the Cardinals right now. Like, the future is a blank slate, dude. Like, we get a new general manager, and imagine we get a competent head coach, and the GM works out, and we just have a few years of like growing success. We could shift the culture within our own organization, like we've been talking about for a long time. And this cancerous stuff that we've had to deal with for a while is we might finally rid ourselves of it. Like, not completely, because it's going to take a few years for players to view us as a you'd say staple franchise, because they have to kind of come to respect our system and our coach and our GM and our owner. But we're in such a good place right now, and I think that Bidwell and Payton are picking out his new house in Scottsdale with a nice little steak dinner. And he's
Love
like,
it.
listen, man, like, you could just, come down here. I'll help you get a nice pad, or you could go freeze your tuchus off up in Denver, bro. Like, I mean, come on. Like, I'll treat you nice, Sean. Like, come on, man. I got you a quarterback here. Yeah, we gotta turn this around. Let's have a little fun with this. Okay.
I agree, brother. Honestly, and that's the thing too. A lot of people that don't know Arizona, don't know Phoenix, like they just think heat, right? But we have great weather for like 8 months. Like, let's say 7 months. 7 months out of the year, we have fantastic weather. And like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Scottsdale personally, but like people love it. People love Scottsdale, right? And then the West Valley looks really nice. The North, and we got some really nice places up in here.
Hey, but just as an example, because our boy's gonna have some options. He can go wherever the Valley calls to him, like. But yeah, and then like as far as Hopkins goes, either if I don't really care either way, because here's how I see it. If he wants to stick around, that's great. But I can also see why he wouldn't want to. Right. So, but the way I see it playing out is he's just going to come and he's going to be like, okay, listen, I think I'm going to stick around at least until like the trade deadline, because I want to see how far into the season we are in terms of our progression, and if we can make the playoffs and make an actual move and like towards Lombardi or anywhere close to it. And if he feels that nothing's improving or that he's not seeing what he wants out of the organization, we can still trade him and get the value we want for him, because teams are going to want him. It's, no question about that. So I feel like the Cardinals should just hang on to him. And if we're not where he feels we should be, Hopkins, by around the trade deadline, we trade him and get the value for him.
Love it. All right, man. See, already optimism, man. Optimism going to 23. Yeah. Love it. All right, brother. Later, man. Peace out. All right, let's keep it going. Let's go to Chad and then Christopher next. So, Chad, you were live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, man. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm actually here representing the Saints. So
nice. Love it. What's up?
So, few things, listening to you talk about, taking control, grabbing us by the balls. That's all good and fine. But I think a lot of people are forgetting that y'all had to agree to a certain compensation prior to getting permission. And I just don't see Loomis backing off of that for multiple reasons. One, I think the Saints would be fine to let Sean go back to Fox because Dennis Allen sucks. We're going to fire him next year, and then Sean can just come right back home. We'd be perfectly fine with that. Also, there's a chance Staley gets fired next year, and I think the Chargers would be willing to overpay for someone like Sean. So I think the Saints are going to get that first rounder, not the third pick. I agree with you. Third pick off the table. But I do think this year's second and next year's first, or maybe this year's third and next year's first.
I like that.
I don't see him going for less than that just because it's already kind of been agreed to.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Saints would mind letting Sean go back to Fox.
Okay. No, and I'm glad I got your take on it. Honestly, I'm glad you're here. Okay, so third and first. So yeah, I'm cool with the first next year too. And somebody was like, "Oh, you're willing to give up that," but you have to do that, right? Sean Payton is a winning coach. You've seen him do very well without Sean Payton. Or not very well, but like he can win still.
Yeah, and I do have another thing I wanted to run by, get a Cardinals fan's perspective from it. What if the Saints were to send a Sean and the Saints next year first round pick for this year's third? Like, what if we sent additional draft capital in order to get this year's third?
Dude, honestly, that third right now feels like Jesus to us because of Jalen Carter or Will Anderson. It sounds intriguing. So you're saying you're going to give us a first round, or your first round and Sean Payton, and then we swap you out with the third, right? The third overall.
We don't have a first this year, so it would be a future first plus Sean.
No. Yeah. No, I think the Jalen Carter and Will Anderson thoughts for fans right now is at an all-time high. And I think we have to get that generational talent. We have to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah. I do think it's still going to cost y'all at least a future first. I don't think Loomis is going to just roll over because I think there's benefit to letting him go back to Fox.
I'm glad I got your perspective, honestly. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Later, take care.
All right, let's keep it going here. Let's go, Christopher. Christopher, you were live on the AZ Sports Fan on YouTube. Brother, talk to me, man. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling good. I think we should trade D-Hop to Chicago for that first round, and they would get the third round, and we could get Jalen Carter or Will. I don't know, but I think if we don't get Sean Payton, who would you want to get to fix Murray?
Well, right now it seems like Brian Flores is the name that's kind of thrown out there.
I don't want to go with Brian Flores.
I know.
No.
I know.
Why isn't Bid? Why isn't we have voices? Why isn't Bidwell looking at offense coordinator? It's just defense coordinator.
Yeah.
Defense. Why can't it be offense? There's a lot of good offense. Like
I agree.
The guy from what's his name? The Eagles, and then
Shane Steichen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the Bills. Why
Ken
can't
Dorsey. Yeah, no, those are two names that I have on my list too. Like I would really, really like them. It's just like I'm so surprised that the Cardinals didn't. Now there was a rumor out there saying that Shane Steichen bombed that Panthers interview, but I mean, it's just he probably didn't get along with the owner, right? We have a different owner, so maybe it might work. Who knows?
But it's like you've been saying on Twitter, it's been on our toes. Who are we gonna get if we can't get Sean Payton? Who's gonna be the correct one that's gonna turn this culture around? I've been with this culture as a fan since '93.
Yeah.
So I'm tired of it.
I agree, man. So do you feel like it's a Payton or bust at this point?
I don't know, because like how I saw a few videos how they got in the car, he was with meeting all day with Bidwell. So I don't know. How do you feel? Do you think it's in the bag? It's just going to come down to the price wise. What is Bidwell going to do for it?
Yeah. No, yeah. I think that's exactly like you said, right? I think it's up to Bidwell at this very moment. Now, I'm glad I got the perspective of a Saints fan because obviously we can kind of talk as much as we want here.
I like what he just said a few minutes ago for us to give the third round and they give us their future first round next year. Nah, we're ain't. Like you said, this is like heaven. The third pick. But what do you think about what I said in the beginning? If we trade D-Hop for that first round and Chicago would get the third pick, we would get first pick.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying let's do a swap. So like we would give
Yeah,
them
that's what
D-Hop.
I sent you on your inbox on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it or not, but I showed you that Chicago has first round, and they would swap it for
third, right? So you would swap the third and the first, and give them D-Hop, but we have the power at the number one.
yeah.
The only thing with that number one is that like the person that's going to want to get that number one is going to want a quarterback team, and that can be
Oh, I know.
anybody. Yeah.
But I think for first, second, and third and fourth, we should focus on offensive line. So when Murray comes back and we have the right coach, he'll be ready. I give him one more shot. Like you said, I forgot which live stream you said, but I give him one more shot with the right coach and focus on the offensive line. And if he can stay in the pocket, he's the most dangerous quarterback. Like all these quarterbacks have changed. Look at what's his name, the Brody from the Niners. He's just a rookie, and look how far he's taking them. And look at Jalen Hurts.
I agree. All right, Christopher, I'm gonna let you go, man. Thank you so much for coming on, brother. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, no, I agree. Great points. Great points. I'm not sure. D-Hop, like I'm curious to figure out how this is going to work out first, right? Let's see if we get Sean Payton, and maybe that can intrigue D-Hop to stay. At least as of right now, TBD. Let's get to Deuce. Deuce, you are live on the Easy Sports Fan on YouTube. Talk to me, brother. How are you feeling?
Doing good, man. How about yourself?
Good. Can't complain.
It's Deus, by the way.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad, dude.
I changed my name just for you because you had a problem with Latin.
Oh. Well, my bad. I apologize.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, man. I'm so pumped up. It's like, it's there. I can see it. And I've always, I could see, like, when I saw Hard Knocks, it was like the first time where I actually saw Bidwell outside of a presser interview or anything like that. So when I saw him in his first, television appearance, he was all business. Like, I'm serious about winning. And, and he was just looking around at the whole locker room. And he's like, he wasn't afraid to call him out, saying, some of you are slackers and you're not going to be here anymore, basically. Yeah. So I know he has a different approach and different take on things other than the previous of his dad. So I just think that we're underestimating his tenacity and underestimating his acumen as far as business and football, because he's a billionaire for a reason.
True.
And man, I sure hope we can keep D-Hop, because I think D-Hop might be an incentive for Sean Payton to come on board too. So
I agree. Remind me, you said it's Deus?
Deus, yeah.
Deus. Okay, gotcha. I apologize. I'm gonna remember that. Deus.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
But yeah, just the other.
How do you feel about Kyler?
Kyler, still the same.
Yeah.
If we get Sean Payton, I'm willing to give him another shot, because if he can't work with Sean Payton, then hashtag fire K1.
Yeah, then
you'll be out in the parking lot with your hashtag fire K1 sign.
You know it, brother. You know it, man. I'm 2 for 2 right now. So
hey, you're on a roll, man. You're doing better than a lot of other podcasts and shows. That's for sure.
I'm telling you, man. You just gotta be, keep go at it, man. Annoying people. That's what you gotta do. All right, man. Any other thoughts before I let you go?
No, I'm just enjoying your show and enjoying the content, and your clientele here is awesome. I like this. I like the spirit, and I like the shenanigans in the chat too. So Peace out to everybody.
Absolutely. All right, Davis. Have a great rest of your day, man. Peace out.
All right, you too.
Bye. All right, man. Yeah, it's one of those things, right? I think as a Cardinal fan right now, we are kind of here, and it's exciting, right? Like I said before, we hit this offseason, right? This offseason is going to be wild. Like literally, like seatbelt, buckle yourself in, because we're going to find ourselves in a bumpy ride. We're going to find ourselves in a situation that, we can possibly get Sean Payton. And I get it. The last week has been so confusing. And if you guys have been experienced whiplash, right? You're not alone. Cardinal fans have been saying things like, oh my God, he's my number 2, but he was your number 2 like 2 days ago. And then like another day passed by and they're like, oh my God, I want him. Like that's the world that we've been living in. We're so confused. We don't know what's going to go on. Obviously, Michael Bidwell and Monty Osenfort have a plan. We're going to allow them to figure out this plan here together. And I think that I'm happy with it. Like, I'm happy with it. I truly am. Now, what we're gonna do here, because we completely went over where I kind of wanted to stay at. We will be opening up the phone lines again. I promise you guys. I apologize for all the people that weren't able to jump on. We will be opening up the phone lines a little later on, maybe tomorrow when the breaking news happens. I'm trying to put that out in the world right now that we're going to get breaking news tomorrow, because I truly do feel like we're going to get our coach tomorrow. Whether it's Sean Payton or not, we don't know, right? Whether it's Sean Payton or not, we don't 100% know if that is going to be the case here for the Arizona Cardinals. So I have optimism that the Arizona Cardinals will be pulling the breaking news tomorrow. I'm going to do one last quick refresh here in the Twitter world just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I don't think I did. And I'm just kind of looking out for things that are like, oh, this is something to be reported. And I don't see anything pertaining to any updates from Sean Payton, which is good, which is very, very good. Because like I said a little earlier, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that we're not hearing anything is good. They might know, but they're not going to give it to us until tomorrow. And that's exactly what we want to see as Arizona Cardinal fans, because so far things are looking good for the Arizona Cardinal fans. I'm a little excited about it. All right, everybody. Thank you so very much for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure. A big shout out to everybody that's currently in the chat still. I think we capped out on like 300 people in here right now. So thank you so very much for coming through. If you guys can do me a huge favor before you leave, smack that like button. Subscribe if this is your first time here. If you enjoyed this content, subscribe it up. Continue to completely rock with me. I appreciate you guys for being here. And then obviously, our newest sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code AZSF for a match of up to $100 if you want to put down your first deposit. Use the promo code AZSF for an opportunity for you to, get some more money, right? Get some more money for you to go ahead and possibly win some money out there. So it's football, basketball, hockey, anything, right? So pretty exciting there news all around. I'm excited about, finally having a sponsor in Underdog Fantasy. Definitely check them out. They're available in the mobile device as well as, just regular browser. Appreciate everybody for coming through. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you so very much again. As always, have a great rest of your day, and go Cards.